Hi, back again. Going to look at the USA now, and we are going to be projecting 2 weeks into the future. I just lit some sage off camera again because I've had my lunch. I've come back and I just wanted to clear the energy, and literally I nearly had to throw water over that bowl. The flames were so high. So there was a lot being burnt off. I'm getting an energy of jumpiness. I just want to say jumpiness. With the USA. I mean, I know the whole world is jumpy, but there's jumpy and jumpy. And I guess the truth is that some nations are going to be dealing with this a little bit better than others. And it's probably linked into their psyche, the culture. Some cultures are more reserved by nature, quieter. Others are not. And I'm feeling there is something within the USA whereby I'm just seeing there's a lot of people jumping up and down, and agitation. I mean, it was a bit of a powder keg before all this started, to be perfectly honest, with everything that's been going on politically. So now throw this into the mix, and it's as though, okay, what Metatron is saying, all of that powder keg energy that was already there in the United States, tied up with division and politics, and obviously you've got your election this year anyway, it's like, where does all that go now? Because on top of all what is already there, in terms of a very unsettled energy, we're now bringing in the energy of pandemic into the land. So it's like an overflow of emotion and unrepressed. Interesting, I said unrepressed. Anger. Let's see what the cards say, shall we? I'm going to go 2 weeks into the future. United States, linked into this virus and pandemic. Let's have some guidance. Let's see where the United States are 2 weeks' time. And let's have 6 cards. United States, 2 weeks' time, virus. United States, 2 weeks' time, virus. United States, 2 weeks' time, virus. For some reason, that card has to go like that on its side. United States, 2 weeks' time. I actually want to put that card over that. I don't know why. United States, 2 weeks' time, a virus. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Hierophant. So for the States, just as much as for everybody else in the world, this is a time of great learning. It's an opportunity to learn a lot, you know, in not a particularly a way that you would necessarily welcome in with open arms, but there is much to learn from this experience. Much to learn. So for your country, much to learn during this time. The Hierophant. Okay, let's go for the first card then. Okay, the first card that comes out is the Tower for America, and I'm hearing this is like another 9/11 energy. So the trauma that was experienced during 9/11 for USA is here again. You know, I can't not say what's here in the cards. But I suspect that what happened at 9/11 was that people pulled together, came together, were there for each other. I'm remembering the firefighters and the amazing feats that they did, and how people suddenly appreciated them all the more. heroes came from, you know, places that you would not expect them to come from. I'm just talking about the everyday man, you know, that the person that ran into the building, who sacrificed their own life. It's that type of thing. So even though, yeah, the Tower is the Tower, it's not a great card to have. It brings in its wake a new reality for the USA. But this is a Tower moment coming for the States. And it's the falling away of the old to make way for the new. And the Tower usually comes in an unexpected way or in an unexpected fashion. And it leaves some devastation in its wake. You can hear the police sirens going off behind me. I'm going to pull the other cards and see what we get. The Five of Swords. Victory, but at what cost? The Queen of Wands. In the UK reading, this was Queen Elizabeth. Doesn't necessarily need to be that for USA, and I'm hearing it's not. My first instinct was to go to a woman of high profile in the USA, and my first instinct was Nancy Pelosi. I'm going to pull clarifiers on both of those cards. Let's just see what else we've got. Why did I put this one on its side? Okay, the Four of Cups was on its side. Four of Cups is feeling as though something has been lost and not appreciating that you still have something standing. Crying over spilt milk, you know, is the expression. Mourning something that is gone at the expense of forgetting what you still have. That was lying on its side, and over it I put the Empress. Now, to me in this deck, this is the After Tarot. This card has always had a feel of the Statue of Liberty to me. Just the crown and the way she's holding that sort of torch. I've always felt there's like a Statue of Liberty type energy with this card. Of course, traditionally, the Empress is linked into fertility, the divine feminine. It's a card of bounty, actually. So there's a feeling here that USA is being reminded of what it still does have. What it still does have. So the Tower takes something away. Okay, the Tower takes something away. And there is this period of mourning of what has gone or been lost, but not appreciating that there is still something that can come in to help. Two very powerful female cards. If that's not Nancy, it feels as though it's another woman. If it's not a woman, it has to be a man with a very strong feminine energy, which I don't think is Donald Trump. I'm going to pull a clarifier on that. I'm not even sure we're going to see who it is, but there's a feminine influence here that steadies whatever happens here with the Tower. The Eight of Pentacles. The country gets to work. The Two of Wands, a new vision comes in. You know, these two are holding the world in their hands. So as much as USA may wish to want to isolate themselves from the rest of the globe, I feel as though there is a new energy coming in where they embrace the world once more. But actually, I'm also hearing this is about the environment, the masculine and the feminine energy within an individual, within the country, embracing. I think there's going to be an upsurge of environmental interest within the USA in the wake of this. It might well be what I've been saying has been happening in other parts of the world, where we're seeing Mother Nature finally, you know, being able to regenerate because we are all inside and pollution levels are going down. Well, I think you're going to start to see that happening in United States. I'm being taken to some of the highways, and I think I'm being taken to places such as LA, California. I'm just seeing, you know, those big tangled roads, roads upon roads, you know, roads crossing roads, and snarling traffic, traffic jams, and all of the fumes that go into the air. And I'm seeing that having to pause, and for there to be limited cars. And all of a sudden, people realise the skies are a little bit clearer. We can breathe a little bit easier. Nature is starting to flourish. So I think there's a bit of a nod to that. But I'm going to pull some cards on these up here, okay? Let's go to this other deck, I think would be interesting. So I want to pull a card on the Queen of Wands. Are you able to tell me any more about the Queen of Wands? No, actually, before we do that, can you tell me anything else about the Tower? USA, 2 weeks' time. Can you tell me anything else about this Tower? USA, 2 weeks' time, the virus. Okay. The Six of Cups. That's come up in every single reading so far, for UK, for Italy, and now for the States. The Six of Cups, harking back to a more innocent time. We've also got the Emperor on the bottom of the pack. The Emperor in for the UK reading. If you've watched all of this video, do you remember the Emperor I said was Boris Johnson? Well, here the Emperor, I guess, would be Trump. Okay. But unlike what we had for the UK, Boris didn't have the Tower underneath him. So here, there is something here linked to Donald Trump and the Tower. I think it's linked into the past, coming back to bite him. The past. Six of Cups is the past. The Emperor and the Tower. Something from the past for the Emperor causes the Tower. If that's not a political, if that's not a political thing, it could be something happens, you know, within his family. And I don't want to go there, to be perfectly honest. You know, maybe something happens within his family that causes a Tower moment for him. But he's central to it, you know. And I feel it's more linked to him, to be perfectly honest. And of course, we did have this Hanged Man, didn't we? I mean, it could well be that this whole scenario, this whole reality that's playing out with the virus is Trump's Tower moment, where he has to change his thinking, his perspective, his stance on many things. Can you hear the wind whistling in my windows as I said that? Why have we got the Five of Swords? Why have we got the Five of Swords for the USA? And let's just take this away just from Donald Trump, because this is a reading for the whole country. Why have we got the Five of Swords for USA? 2 weeks' time. Virus. Why have we got the Five of Swords? Yeah, the world. Okay, that's good, because what I was actually hearing was it's like they're going to throw everything at it, okay? That I was hearing, whatever it takes, we will eradicate this threat to our way of life, to our people, whatever it takes. But remember, this is the card of victory, but at what cost? So there may very well be some cost associated with being victorious, and literally the world is hit in this respect. In terms of what I was thinking and hearing, it's linked into, we literally throw everything that we've got at it. It's almost like we throw the world at it, all of our resources. But I also think as though, again, this is coming up, what I said here about the earth, it's as though USA realises, or maybe it's the administration, it's not the people necessarily, it's the administration, the current administration realises that they need the world, okay? That they can't just respond to this as an American problem. This is a worldwide problem, and they need to be bringing in worldwide research papers, expertise, medical thinking, whatever, to help with this. So I think as though it's also saying that don't just go it alone. Don't just rely on what is within your own shores. You have to bring in other people with experience. And I'm actually hearing, you might not like it, but you're going to have to listen to some of the countries that might be on the list of quote enemies, okay? China and Iran, I'm hearing, okay? Iran has got a huge number of cases, but they will be learning from what's happening there. China are obviously have gone through this and have learnt about it. It's as though I'm hearing you're going to have to be sitting at the table with some countries that have been persona non grata to a degree, and you know, we're all in this together. So that's what I'm feeling from that. Let's have a look at the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Why is the Queen of Wands there? Over and above what I've already said. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, USA. Can you tell me anything else about the Queen of Wands? Anything else about the Queen of Wands? Five of Swords. I've had it twice. Two lots of Five of Swords. Victory, but at what cost? I'm not going to say who I think it is, because I think it's totally unethical to do that. I feel as though somebody prominent may very well suffer, and I feel as though it costs them. It costs them. I'm being careful what I say. It's like it's a sacrifice. They might fall victim to, I hope this isn't the truth, but they might fall victim to this virus. And it's as though this queen feels as though she has to step up to the mark. Page of Swords. A message comes in for the Queen of Wands, whoever this woman is. A message comes in for the Queen of Wands. It's almost like, I mean, I've heard Donald Trump talking about this, that, you know, this is a war. Well, war has casualties, and it's as though there is a casualty from this war. And I feel as though there is just a woman that comes through and has to step up to the mark much more. Okay, that might just mean in terms of daily briefings, you know, it could just be that we start to hear from a woman more than some of the men we've been hearing from. Maybe it isn't Nancy. I don't know. Who is this Queen of Wands? Who is this Queen of Wands? Who is this Queen of Wands? Page of Pentacles. Hanged Man again on the bottom of the deck. I feel as though the whole country, we've got the Hanged Man twice, the whole country is going to be forced to look in a different way about it's weird. The other two readings I've done, I felt very able to talk about what the country would learn, maybe from the experience. But here, it's like I'm stuck on the politics of it all. It's as though I'm not seeing the country. I'm not being shown the country. I'm just being shown who is trying to manage this and lead this. And all of this hanged man stuff, I think this is more about changes to the administration. This could also link into the Democrats as well. You know, you have got an election period and an election coming up in November. It's pretty confusing. Let's pull a card. Let's pull a card from the Power Stone cards. Let's see what Power Stone card we get for USA. What card do we get for USA? Power Stone card. What's coming up to be healed during this time for USA? What's coming up to be healed for the USA during this time? I've got my eyes closed. I can't see the pictures. What's coming up? That one? No. What's coming up to be healed? What's coming up to be healed? Yeah, that one. Okay, what's that? Higher Heartstone. I meet my needs with confidence and trust. Taking responsibility for your... This is what's coming up to be learnt and healed in USA. Taking responsibility for your life. Healing the ancestral past. Developing higher self. Defining boundaries. Forgiving your parents. There's a lot here about the past. We had the Six of Cups, which is the past. We've got ancestral past. We've got parents. Do you know what I'm going to do to try and get some clarity on this? Because this is confusing. This is in 2 weeks' time. I'm now going to take all these cards away and I'm going to ask again about in a month's time. Let's see where the states are in a month from here. Let's just reshuffle these cards. And in fact, I'm going to go for a totally different deck. I felt for USA, I wanted to use the another deck called the Vision Quest. And let's bring these in now. Vision Quest Tarot. So let's go forward 4 weeks' time. Let's go to the 22nd of April. 22nd of April 2020. USA, what's going on? How's the USA doing? How's the USA doing? Linked into this virus, pandemic. What message wants to come through, please, Spirit? And I'm just going to have 3 cards I'm hearing. Okay, 3 cards. 1. 2. 3. Bottom of the deck is the card of the Shaman, card number 4, which, if I'm, just need to get the traditional tarot card out for that. Is that the High Priestess? I can't remember. Hold on a minute. Oh, it's the Emperor. Card number 4. Oh no, that's 5. Okay, it's not the Emperor. Forget that. Who is it then? 5. You're all screaming at me, I know, but sorry. Hold on a minute. I need to work out what the 5th tarot card is. The Major Arcana. Oh. It's that one again. Double energy of the teacher. So in 2 weeks' time, the states are facing big learning, big opportunity to learn some big spiritual truths, learn more about themselves, learn some lessons basically. And in a month's time, you've got the same energy, still got the energy of the Hierophant. In this deck, it's called the Shaman, but it's the same energy. So you've got a double whammy of it's a big period of learning coming up for the States. This is big. Futility. Okay. Somebody or something, there's a sense of futility in the air. But there's also a sense of abundance in the air. Vision quest. Yeah. I think you're about to go through a real period of soul searching. And rather than fleeing from this, running from it, embrace it. Because with two cards that are about, there's big lessons to be learnt here. Embrace that. Interesting, I've just now uncovered that card on the top of the deck, which is the Spiritual Warrior. Okay, the Spiritual Warrior. It's as though this is almost like a brand new identity for America seems to start to emerge. Now, remember, timelines aren't, are sometimes a little bit loose. So I'm saying a month. I'm struggling to think that this could all happen within a month, but who knows? America is going to be going on a vision quest to discover who she is. Who is she now? What does she stand for? And it's as though the virus sweeps in and makes people realise the divisions that are in their midst, the strife and the strife and the upset. And it's as though people start to suddenly realise that it's futile to carry on along the paths that they were on pre-virus, which is more and more division, deeper and deeper division, which was leading absolutely nowhere. It wasn't making either partner or either party feel good. And so the vision quest is to try to find a new way for the country, to have a deep period of spiritual introspection and emerge from it, I'm sure, victorious and abundant. But this is highest case scenario here. This is the highest timeline. The truth is, what I'm being told is that the virus is going to be coming to all countries, but some countries... okay, just spit it out, Amanda. Some countries have more to learn than others, is what I'm hearing. And I'm seeing USA has got a lot to learn from this. Let's pull 3 more cards, so we've got 9. Balance. Yeah, balance starts to be restored. Inner order. Oh, yes. And wealth. What brilliant cards. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. USA starts to realise that they have to get their own house in order. Okay? And that all the pumpkins in the field are all as valuable as each other. Okay? That balance has to come back to the country. That the path that you were on pre-virus was just sowing more and more division. It was becoming more and more futile. There were no winners. That's why we kept getting that 5 of Swords card. It's like nobody was gaining victory. It was a false victory. Because when there is division in the land, everybody actually loses. Everybody loses. It doesn't matter who's in power. Everybody loses when there's division. And the way back to greater wealth and abundance for all, which is brilliant to see these, is through establishing a deeper spiritual wisdom and inner order within self. Balance returns, but it comes from this sort of tornado type energy. And I'm talking about that energetically, not an actual tornado necessarily. You know, the virus is the tornado that comes in, it shakes everything up. It shakes up the upper stratas of leadership as well. And there might be some changes there as well. There's a tower moment coming in some shape or form. But the tower comes to bring in, there's got to be this introspection, this learning. We have to learn from this. We have to find the balance. And this is saying you can find the balance. I like the fact that there's 2 cards of wealth and abundance there for the country as well. I also want to bring this card out though, the 9 of air, which is the card of hurt. So I think there's going to be a period coming up for the States, not necessarily all within the next month, where people start to realise that they've hurt each other. I've hurt you by excluding you because of, for example, your political persuasion. I'm starting to realise we're all one. Shall we actually all start to work together again? Shall we let go of this this separation energy and let us start to let go of our hurts? But equally, we have to acknowledge that we have been hurt. You can't sweep it under the carpet. This is like spiritual maturity, a real spiritual maturity coming into the collective. Yeah. Okay. I think that's probably it. I'm going to leave it there because I think that's enough for now. And I'm going to get this video uploaded. Other countries I will look at as and when. All right. Much love to everybody. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.